Hey everybody, this is Catherine, the Chubby Adventurer. I hope everyone is having a great day. Today's podcast is going to be about goals and goal setting and why we suck at setting our goals. Here is my goal for myself, and I'm going to tell you guys about this first. But before I get there, I want everybody to hit the thumbs up, like, and hit subscribe. It really helps me out and gets this channel up and going. So if you can do that, that would be awesome. And leave me some comments in the comment section to letting me know what kind of things you would like to discuss in the future, and let's take this journey on together, guys. All right, so what is my goal? So first, my goal is we're going to be hiking Half Dome soon. And I've got, right now at the recording of this podcast, we've got about 6 weeks to train for it. This past weekend, I did a 9.5 mile hike, and by mile 7, I was like, somebody please carry me. So obviously 18 miles is going to be a lot more difficult, and I'm still, this hike that we just did was all flat. The Half Dome hike is going to be all uphill and all downhill, so it's going to be a feat. So setting my goal right now, I have this big, hairy, audacious goal. What is it called? A BHAG is what books would call it. But basically, this is going to be kind of like my Everest, because I'm never going to hike Everest. But why we suck at setting goals is because we don't picture what our life will be like when we hit our goal. And this is something that we all have to kind of imagine. So my end goal, I'm doing weight loss through going through adventures and taking this kind of like one adventure at a time. Like I have a certain weight goal I want to hit before I go hike Half Dome, because I'm afraid for my knees and my ankles that they're not going to make it through the trip. So, this is kind of how I'm pushing myself to lose weight. And what I've done to try to help me keep momentum with my goal is I picture my life 3 to 6 months from now. What at my goal weight, what am I going to look like? What's my life going to look like? What am I going to, this can be for anything. This can be financial, everything. I kind of have like 3 major things. I have a health goal, a personal growth goal, and a wealth goal is what I like to call it. So, 3, 6 months, maybe a year from now, where will I be? What will I do? What were the steps I take in order to get to that goal, to that end goal? What is my life going to look like once I get there? And if you can't imagine that, you're not going to take the steps necessary. You're not going to make the sacrifices that you need to make in order to get to that end point. And for me, my end point really is my health. Like I said in my last video, everything right now is about my health. I'm very worried about my health, 10, 15, 20 years from now. I want to be able to move, go places, go do things, and not have to worry about being the one left behind, and, not being able to do, the 10-mile hike, the 9.5 mile hike that I did, like I did yesterday, that, kicked my ass. So it's one of those things, like I love going out and doing things and having new experiences. And right now, my health and my weight really hold me back for multiple reasons. 1, because I'm uncomfortable, in my own skin. 2, because I can't keep up. Everything hurts, after you do walk for so long, anything like that. I go to Disneyland with my sister and her boyfriend every now and then, and by day 2, I'm dead. My feet are killing me, and it's all to do with my weight. It sucks. It really sucks. So ask yourself, is your goal big enough? Does it mean enough to you? If it does, you need to start writing it down. So this is what I do every morning and every night. I write down my goals where I want to be, what I want my life to look like, a week from now, 2 weeks from now, 3 months from now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you hit your goal, as long as you're always striving to go to that goal. We all do this, me especially. It's how you get to be as overweight as I am. We make excuses for ourselves. We let other people make excuses for ourselves. When I told people that I was going to hike Half Dome, I've gotten anything from, oh, I hope you have your will made out, to, oh, you're not going to make it, girl, because you're too much overweight. And that's kind of where I dig my heels in and kind of have that, middle finger up to you and say, watch me. So don't allow people to make excuses for you. Don't buy into it, and make sure that you know what you want to do, because anything you set your mind to, you are capable of. If you really want to, like for me, lose the weight, you'll lose the weight. However, you're only going to do that if you actually set a plan in motion. So don't make excuses for yourself. Oh, I'm trying, but I'm not losing any weight. Oh, I've dieted for, 3 hours. I haven't lost any weight. I've exercised and I end up gaining weight. No, it's all excuses. If there's something legitimately wrong with your body, then you need to go see your doctor. And you need to kind of have a game plan with your doctor or a nutritionist or a health coach, somebody, just to help you get through and break through. Because there might be something hormonal going on with you. But again, if you let it stop you, it's just an excuse at the end. So no more excuses. We're all going to push forward. We're going to do this together. For me, I've found that announcing my goals kind of helped me keep me accountable. So I announced it to the world. I've announced it on Facebook. I've announced it on Instagram, Twitter. I've announced it on this podcast, what I'm going to do. I told you all that I started the year out-ish at 283 pounds. I'm down to 260. My goal before Half Dome is to at least get down to 250, 240. I would prefer to be closer to the 240. And before I go skydiving, I want to be under 200 pounds. So announce it to the world. It motivates you. It holds you accountable. It basically, if you don't accomplish it, then you're kind of feeding into that whole, oh yeah, I knew she couldn't do it, or I knew he couldn't do it, because, they've made such declarations before. No, hold yourself accountable and keep pushing forward. Like the movie says, keep moving forward. Meet the Robinsons, Disney movie, one of my favorites. I also have a Apple Watch. I let that decide my goals for me as well. Every month it has a new goal. This month for me, it's 1,110 exercise minutes. I'm not going to meet that goal, and it's not because I didn't actually exercise that long. It's because my watch isn't reading it. So screw my watch. But I know personally that I made that goal, because I think I'm already past 1,110 minutes this month. But my watch only read about half of that. And it's because my exercises weren't as strenuous, I cannot say that word, as they have been in the past, because we've been doing a lot more flat hikes to do long distance than we have been doing the uphill hikes. So I think once we start doing the uphill hikes again, it'll start to read it more and more often, which, yay. Because if you don't, if it doesn't record on your watch, did it actually really happen, Another thing that I have kind of helped me to decide how to make goals is I read books, and one of them that I read kind of helped me a lot and kind of put me in the mindset of I can do this. Let me put this out there. Kind of gave me the idea about writing my goals down every morning and night. Was 10X by Grant Cardone. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people love him. There's nowhere in between. You either love him or hate him. I do suggest reading, instead of reading the book, listen to the audiobook. He does it himself, and he's hilarious. And he's just got that energy that kind of pumps you up. So if you're going to read that book, go for the audiobook. It's helped me a lot. It's actually more about business, but he does talk about how to set your goals, and as the title suggests, it's 10xing your goals. So it is something it's a book that really did help me. It's actually kind of what set me on my journey in the first place. I was never going to do a podcast. I was never going to put this out there like this, but through his books and his online, he has YouTube channels as well. I've kind of decided, if I'm really going to commit to this, I really need to commit to this. And that's what I'm doing. And that's why I put myself out there in this podcast. I would love for you all to check it out. It's a really good book. I don't get any royalties from it or anything like that. So, I don't make any money if you guys buy it, but so it's not a, shameless plug for me, but it is something that would help other people as well. And I really, truly believe that. I wouldn't recommend it if I didn't. Another thing to kind of help you with your goals is to find a champion, somebody who can kind of have your back and hold you accountable, and maybe even go work out with you, and somebody who is a little bit more in shape than you are, or just kind of even get a trainer. If you have to pay somebody, just pay somebody. A lot of people have more respect for their workout and their stuff if they're paying somebody else for their time. I'm not one of those people. I actually kind of, when I pay for something, I start to lose interest in it for some reason. I don't know why. I'm weird. But for me, I have somebody who I hold accountable and she holds me accountable. So, it's my hiking buddy. If you follow the hashtag The Chubby Adventure on Instagram, that's me. Again, my friend Kim, actually my friend Alex and his girlfriend go with us hiking a lot as well. And they're kind of my people who kind of hold me accountable. So they don't really know that they're that person, but in a way that they do. And they do push me to keep going and go further and further every day. So it does really help people to have somebody back there, rooting for you. And you get a lot of naysayers. And when you get naysayers, kind of have that, well, I'll show you attitude, but make sure you have somebody in your corner too. It's very important. Having people to have your back, there's nothing like it when you have camaraderie. I can't say that word either. Camaraderie. Is that how you say camaraderie? Let's pretend that's how you say camaraderie. But anyway, when you have, your people, your group that kind of helps you move forward and keeps pushing you to keep moving forward, you're less likely to fall off the bandwagon. For me, I've always tried to go it alone. If you want to go it alone, it'll probably take you longer. If you want to go far, get people to back you up. That's actually a quote from Grant Cardone's book. It might have been 10X. It might have been one of his other books, but I'm pretty sure it's from 10X. It just helps. But anyway, so to go back over everything, your excuses, they are what they are. Stop making them. If you're making excuses, your goals aren't big enough, and you haven't actually pictured where you want to be with your life. Picture yourself again, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. Your decisions that you made 2 to 3 years ago or 5 years ago are where you are now. So now, any decision you make is going to impact you 3 to 5 years from now. So make sure that you are making the right decisions for your future self. Again, announce your goals. Write down your goals every morning and every night. The way that I write down my goals is suggested by Grant again, and it is, I am 50 pounds lighter, or I weigh 200 pounds, or I have a brand new Corvette. Yes, that is one of my goals. And just kind of, once you do that and you start saying this to yourself, like, I have this, I am this, instead of my goal is, it actually kind of puts you in that mode that you are working towards. Even if it's subconsciously, it just kind of puts you in that frame, like that mind frame, just to get it done. And you push more for it without even knowing it sometimes. Like some of my goals, I've been writing like, oh, I weigh, I've lost 20 pounds. And I just kept writing it. And actually, I wasn't even paying attention to the scale. And I wasn't really working on my diet and exercise. And I looked at the scale one day and it was like, hey, I'm down 19 and a half pounds. So I did it without even realizing I was doing it. Granted, I started to really take stock into my weight around that time as well. And that's when I've kind of decided to do this and this podcast and put myself out there and, try to help other people as well. So again, if you liked this podcast, give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, follow me on Instagram. It is cat.thompson2585, cat spelled C-A-T, and then follow the hashtag, the Chubby Adventurer. I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you.